Hello, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to a new session. So, I hope all of you are doing just great. So, today we are back with a new session of revision for Gujarat set. This exam will be held on 16th of November. All right. So, till now, we have had 4 sessions for Gujarat set, and today we are back with the 5th session. All right. Great. So if you're new to our channel, then please do subscribe. And if you're watching this video right now, then do like this video. Okay? Right. So let me get started with the session tonight. First, I will share the screen. Yes, the screen is visible. Right. So, good evening and welcome again to our 5th session of G set, Gujarat set. Right? Are you all ready for the session? Yes. Good evening, and welcome. Thank you for joining. And do like this session, please. And now let's get started. Okay. All ready? Yes. So let's move on to the first question for tonight. Okay, here we go. Maps of Englishness. Writing identity in the culture of colonialism by Dash. Analyzes how colonialism shaped and redefined English identity through literature and culture from the 19th century onward. This book uses case studies, including writings by figures like Thomas Carlyle, Anthony Trollope, and Conrad, and post-colonial authors like Salman Rushdie, to show how narratives of empire were instrumental in both the construction of Englishness and the later crisis of identity in post-imperial Britain. It's a very important work in post-colonial studies, and it comments on very essential issues like the issues of the empire, the issues of English identity and colonialism. It is called Maps of Englishness. Writing identity in the culture of colonialism. Again, this book is a very major intervention in the area of identity politics and how it was shaped by the ventures of colonialism. So tell me, who wrote this work, Maps of Englishness? Who wrote this work, Maps of Englishness? Yes, it is by Simon Gaikhandi. Simon Gaikhandi. He's a professor who wrote this work, Maps of Englishness. Okay, and it analyzes case studies and writings of various major authors like Carlyle, Trollope, Conrad. We all know, especially writers like Conrad and post-colonial authors like Salman Rushdie, how these authors have contributed very significantly towards post-colonial studies, how their opinions, how their major works have shaped the area of post-colonialism, right? So yes, Maps of Englishness by Simon Gaikhandi. It's a very major work. Okay, all right. Next question. Statements. So here we have a statement-based question from Withering Heights. Because recently in exams like Karnataka SET or beat JKPSC, we have seen that examiners are giving you questions, especially statement-based questions, lengthy questions from canonical texts like Withering Heights or Jane Eyre or major novels by Dickens or Paradise Lost, right? Or major plays of Shakespeare. So I think it's a good time to just take a quick revision of these canonical texts, right? So here we have 4 statements on Withering Heights, and you have to tell me which statements are correct about this text. Withering Heights employs a non-linear narrative through multiple narrators. The main narrative is framed by Mr. Lockwood's recollections. The novel completely avoids the use of letters or diaries as narrative devices. The story of Heathcliff and Catherine is told entirely by Nellie Dean. Which of the above statements are correct? 1 and 2 only, 2 and 3, 1, 2, 4, 3 and 4. Here, please don't go with 4. I'm just warning you beforehand because, in statement based questions like this, please avoid going for statements where you see such extreme words like entirely. Okay? Because can we say that the entire thing was told by Nelly and Lockwood was nowhere there? We can't say it. Because please remember, this work, Withering Heights, this work has been presented to us in the form of diary entries of Lockwood. All these characters, be it Nellie or Heathcliff, Catherine, whatever, they only come to life because Lockwood chose to write about them. They're only there because Lockwood wrote about them in his diary entries. Don't forget that this novel is actually the diary of Mr. Lockwood. Right? So, option 4, don't go for it. And in statement based questions, please avoid going for statements which gives you extreme words like entirely, completely, totally. Don't go for those words. So, the correct answer will be 1 and 2 only. That Withering Heights employs a non-linear narrative through multiple narrators. Yes, multiple narrators is the right thing. And the main narrative is framed by Mr. Lockwood's recollections. Because as I told you, Withering Heights has been presented to us as diary entries. This novel is nothing but diary entries of a certain Mr. Lockwood. We're reading the diary entries of this person. And that's how this novel or this work comes to life. This is this has not been presented to us just as a text by an author. No. Emily Bronte chose to present this to us as a diary of Mr. Lockwood. We are reading his thoughts because this entire plot of the novel, don't forget, is filtered through the consciousness of Lockwood. This entire plot, this entire narrative has been filtered through the consciousness of Mr. Lockwood. We only get to know about those things which Lockwood chose to write in it. Nellie's narrative, as presented by Lockwood, because Nellie does not write the diary herself. No. We get to know about Nellie's narrative only through Lockwood. So these are the intricacies you should keep in mind. All right. I hope you all got that. So next question. A Dying Colonialism is a 1959 work by Homi Bhabha in which the author provides an account of the Algerian War. This book details cultural and political changes that emerged due to the rejection of French colonial oppression by the Algerian. Is it true or false? Tell me. And let me also quickly check your YouTube live comments. Tell me, is it true or false that A Dying Colonialism is a work by Homi Bhabha which provides an account of the Algerian War? Tell me. Yes. Yes, all of you are answering correctly. That's what I was checking in the YouTube live comments. Good. Yes, it is false. Because A Dying Colonialism is by Frantz Fanon. A Dying Colonialism is by Frantz Fanon. It is not by Bhabha. A Dying Colonialism is a 1959 work by Frantz Fanon in which the author provides an account of the Algerian War. Okay, it is by Fanon, Frantz Fanon. Next. Who defined precarity as a politically induced condition of vulnerability that makes certain groups more susceptible to injury, violence, and displacement? This theorist differentiates between precariousness, a universal human vulnerability, and precarity, which is when this vulnerability is heightened and exploited through political and economic structures like neoliberalism, making some lives unlivable and unmournable. So, who was this theorist who talked about precarity as a condition different from precariousness? Who talked about precarity? Who talked about precarity as a situation different from precariousness? Because precarity is more of a politically induced, it's a politically created situation. Correct. It was Judith Butler. It was Judith Butler who had talked about the concept of precarity. Precarity. Butler had talked about the concept of precarity. Okay, right? Okay, next. So before we proceed, let me give you all a reminder that if some of you are stuck with your research proposal, or say if you are a bit clueless about what to actually work on, and or suppose you have already enrolled in your PhD and you're doing your PhD coursework, and now you are trying to finalize your topic and you need some guidance from experts, I think this course is for you. So, Vallath and Litcrit, we are bringing together all about research. It's a hands-on course for researchers in English. This course will start from 18th of November. 18th of November. Okay? So, at whatever position you are with your research, just a beginner or stuck with some points in your research, be it your literature review or questions or whatever, I think this hands-on course for research can help you immensely. So you can just check out this course and see if you can enroll and join us. Okay? All right? Great. Next. Clara and the Sun is a dystopian science fiction story by Dash, set in the US in an unspecified future. This book is told from the point of view of Clara, a solar powered AF, who is chosen by Josie, a sickly child, to be her companion. With the continuous advancements of AI and all, I think these issues are getting more and more relevant for us. Post-humanism, post-humanist themes, post-human companionship also, right? So Clara and the Sun, it's a wonderful work which brings together all these themes of, post-humanism, what it is to be human, what happens when human and post-human come together, right? Yes, Clara and the Sun. It is by Kazuo Ishiguro. Kazuo Ishiguro. Clara and the Sun. It's a dystopian science fiction novel by Kazuo Ishiguro. It is set in the USA in an unspecified future. And this book is told from the perspective of Clara. Clara is a solar powered AF, and Clara is chosen by Josie, a sickly child, to be her companion. So, very relevant themes in today's world: loneliness, AI, posthumanism, posthuman companionship. What happens when human and posthuman come together? Right? So, Clara and the Sun by Kazuo Ishiguro. Next question. Which play of Arthur Miller is a thinly veiled critique, thinly veiled personal critique, centered on Miller's divorce from Marilyn Monroe? The plot takes place inside the mind of Quentin, a New York City Jewish intellectual who decides to re examine his life in order to determine whether or not he should marry his most recent love, Holga. So, which play of Miller is this? It talks about Quentin, a New York City Jewish intellectual, and it's all in his mind, his thoughts about, whether to marry or not his recent love, Holga. And it's actually comments and critiques on Miller's divorce from Marilyn Monroe. Which play is this? It is After the Fall by Arthur Miller. It's the play After the Fall by Arthur Miller. Arthur Miller. After the Fall, it's a very important, very significant play by Miller. All right. Okay. Have you all liked the session? I hope all of you have liked the session. All right. Next. Who said that I had said of Christ that he ranks with the poets? That is true. Shelley and Sophocles are of his company. Who said this? I had said of Christ that he ranks with the poets. That is true. Shelley and Sophocles are of his company. Tell me. I believe once you hear this quote, you will not forget this. I'm sure when you guys were studying Greco Roman classicism or Romanticism, you must have read that poets are also called as vates or creators, because in earlier times, poets were regarded with very much respect. Poets were highly revered and they were respected for being creators. Creation, a capacity which is first and foremost associated with God, God the creator, Lord the creator of this universe and all. And secondly, poets are those who have this potential to create something new. That's why next to God, poets were respected very greatly because of this capacity to create like God. That's why they were also called as vates, Vates, or makers. And I think in that connection, you can associate this quote that I had said of Christ that he ranks with the poets. It is true. Shelley and Sophocles are of his company. This quote was written by Oscar Wilde in De Profundis. Oscar Wilde wrote this in De Profundis. All right. Oscar Wilde wrote this in De Profundis. Clear? Great. Next. Glengarry Glen Ross is a 1983 stage play by Dash. It's a two-act tragedy that depicts 2 days in the lives of four desperate Chicago real estate agents who are prepared to engage in any number of unethical illegal acts, from lies and flattery to bribery, threats, intimidation, and burglary, to sell real estate to unwitting prospective buyers. This question came recently in Karnataka set. In Match the Following, they asked about this play. Glengarry Glen Ross. So who wrote this play? It's a 1983 stage play, and it's a two-act tragedy that talks about 2 days in the lives of four desperate Chicago real estate agents. Glengarry Glen Ross. It's a tragedy by David Mamet, an American playwright. David Mamet, an American playwright. Very important for your upcoming exams. David Mamet, an American playwright. Okay. And previously, Gujarat set has also asked questions from David Mamet. Right. Next. Point Counterpoint is a novel by Dash, first published in 1928. Where is the question? Tell me. Who wrote this novel, Point Counterpoint? It is by Aldous Huxley. Aldous Huxley wrote Point Counterpoint, published in 1928. 1928. Right? Okay. Dash is a German philosopher and social theorist in the tradition of critical theory and pragmatism. His work addresses communicative rationality and the public sphere. So these two phrases should be enough for you to identify this theorist. Who was that theorist who talked about uh, communicative rationality and the public sphere? Public sphere and communicative rationality. Which theorist talked about these two ideas? It was Jürgen Habermas. Jürgen Habermas talked about public sphere, communicative rationality. So Jürgen Habermas was a German philosopher and social theorist in the tradition of critical theory and pragmatism. Jürgen Habermas. Okay? Habermas. So that's all from our side for tonight. I really hope that these questions which I'm bringing to you guys will help you to read around these areas, identify the areas which are important for this G set, right? And I also hope that you guys like this discussion and answering these questions. Great. So just a reminder that All About Research program will start from 18th of November. You can join this. Okay. So tomorrow there will be paper 1 session by Jobin sir, and I will see you all again on Friday. Okay. Till then, take care and bye. Good night. And do like this session and please keep studying.